Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the April 7th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Sarah Moore. The Heels National Championship hopes are dashed, but the fans are still behind them.
Following a high-profile murder, is it appropriate to do an anti-death penalty play?
In sports, both basketball teams are done, but baseball and other spring sports are just getting started.
Weathercaster Mallory Nichols will tell us when sunshine will return.
All that, and is golf suffering a stroke? Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello, and welcome to the Monday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Jonathan O.
And I'm Carly Swain. Thank you for joining us. Well, it's extremely difficult to win a national championship, especially when a team plays its worst game of the season. Sarah Moore was ready to cover a big celebration after Saturday's Final Four matchup against Kansas, but that didn't happen. Sarah?
It was a big disappointment, Carly. Roy Williams says it was one of the biggest embarrassments in his coaching career. And though the fans aren't ready to abandon the Heels, they don't disagree with the coach's assessment.
Before Saturday night's big game, Heels fans were raring to go. They packed into the Dean Dome and Franklin Street bars for the chance to watch Carolina and hoping for the chance to rush Franklin Street. But after a disappointing performance by Carolina, the streets were quiet and the fans were feeling let down.
We could have done a lot more better. A lot more better.
We've been fans since we were, what, like 8? Since
I'd
like
say
Eric
6.
Montross. Eric Montross.
6 years old. 6 years old.
Very sad that we lost. I think we could have done better. I think we did really bad in the first half.
Just the lack of enthusiasm in the first half killed me.
We're really upset about the game tonight because honestly, we're devastated about the game tonight. Roy,
But Tyler Hansbrough,
we expected a little bit more than that.
I'm just disappointed. What else do I just say? I think they should have won. They had a little coaching issue. They had a little playing issue. But other than that, I'm sorry, Steve.
I'm a Tar Heel fan my entire life.
We got our ass kicked.
But will the fans stay true to the boys in blue?
Yes!
Obviously. It's not
If they're in the Final Four, we'll be back here next year.
It doesn't matter if we're in the Final Four. ACC tourney. Champions!
Oh yeah, I'm still a Tar Heel fan. We're still gonna do it.
I mean, absolutely. I went to Carolina. I work for Carolina. I'm always going to be a Carolina fan.
Most seemed to stay faithful to the Heels. And then there were some who really just wanted a date.
Oh my God, Tyler Hansbrough. It's 7:04. It's 7:04.
So now the big question is, will any of the Heels bolt for the NBA?
Sarah, when do you think we'll find out if any of Roy's boys are leaving us?
Probably at the basketball banquet in the next couple of weeks. Tyler Hansbrough said he might leave if the Heels won the title, but since they fell short, he'll probably be back for a senior year and maybe a date with that girl.
Sarah Moore, live in the newsroom. Thank you, Sarah.
Corrections officials have removed the top 3 managers in the Wake County Probation Office. The change was prompted by the group's failures in the supervision of Demaria Atwater, the suspect in the Eve Carson killing. At the time of Carson's murder, Atwater was supposed to be under the group's watch for a previous breaking and entering and larceny conviction. The 3 Wake County officers now have non-probation related duties, and the state is expected to conduct an audit of the system's performance. Chapel Hill leaders are looking for your input about safety measures in several downtown neighborhoods. Officials want to know what you think about call boxes like this one in 3 off-campus areas that have high student populations. The call boxes, or blue lights, have speakers that can connect you to police in the event of an emergency. The proposal is designed to protect students who walk through portions of downtown at night. The proposal is for the North Side and Cameron-McCauley neighborhoods and for East Rosemary Street between Hillsborough and Boundary Streets. The public forum is at 7 o'clock Tuesday night at Town Hall.
The Department of Dramatic Art has planned to do the production Dead Man Walking since the beginning of the year. But with Eve's death approaching, a play about capital punishment has hit closer to home than anyone could have expected. The set is being built. The timing is perfect.
You should not be finished moving through this space before the count of 30.
13, 14, 29, 30.
Okay, count of 10.
Well, almost. Rehearsals were carrying on without a hitch until the words on a page came to life. The murder of UNC's student body president Eve Carson exposed raw emotion and raised an important question. Can we do a play about capital punishment now?
Dear friends, with deeply saddened hearts, we send you our love and support as you and your...
At a time of profound grief, the cast and crew received some encouraging words in a letter from the book's author, Sister Prajan, and the project's national coordinator, Sister Maureen Fenlon.
To have this campus take this on and then to have an experience of a horrible crime of one of their own pushes us even deeper than ever thought.
Can they do this play? Is it right?
These are hard questions, and there's no easy answer, but more soul-searching will need to go on.
The cast has continued rehearsals, and the play will go up as scheduled. A number of post-show events are also scheduled to encourage community conversations. The show opens this Friday in the Elizabeth Price Keenan Theater on campus. On Saturday, an interfaith guest panel will discuss the religious side of capital punishment. On Sunday, you have the chance to speak with Sister Maureen Fenlon, the national coordinator for the Dead Man Walking School Theater Project. For more information about the production and showtimes, visit our website, carolinaweek.org. The cast and crew of Dead Man Walking are facing an extraordinary challenge with campus emotions still so raw. Sister Maureen says the message in Dead Man isn't a political one. It's more about humanity and how we relate to one another.
Today marks the beginning of Holocaust Remembrance Week. UNC's Hillel is hosting Tents of Hope in the main quad and pit this week. Students paint tents that will serve as shelters for refugees of the Darfur genocide. Those who come out to paint hope the tents will lead to change.
People can take an active role in kind of making a statement and getting the U.S. government to do something, but hopefully ultimately to provide help for refugees in Chad.
Jay Ibsen is a Holocaust survivor. He'll speak at 7 o'clock tonight in Greenlaw 101. Stop by our website, carolinaweek.org, for a complete list of events. Sex trafficking isn't confined to foreign countries and big cities. The Carolina Women's Center hosted a conference recently to further discussions from its first sex trafficking conference in 2006. The FBI in Charlotte believes that almost a quarter of the thousands of victims who are brought into the U.S. each year arrive in the Southeast. So in addition to general awareness education, guests met in groups to discuss ways to address problems dealing specifically with sex trafficking in North Carolina.
Both science and religion play a major role in our daily lives, but we don't often see a connection between the two worlds. This past weekend, the Orthodox Christian Fellowship at Duke University hosted a conference called Reconciling Mother Earth and Father God. Members of the Nicholas School of the Environment and the Duke religious community discussed the link between environment and faith. Pete Thikos organized the event and says it brought together people from different perspectives.
We chose the environment because what we saw was that, traditionally, people who are concerned about the environment and people who are concerned about religion are two very different factions, at least in the American political system the way we have it.
The conference was supposed to end with a nature walk, but the organizers canceled that because of the bad weather. Well, when you go to a vending machine, you're usually buying snacks that are, well, not so healthy.
Yeah, but coming up, we'll tell you about some healthier vending options and how to spot them.
Let's talk about dying. Everybody's got to do it, but nobody wants to talk about it. So talking about organ donation is even harder, especially with your family. Because to talk about that, you got to admit you're going to die. And that's hard. Maybe people think if they don't talk about it, it won't happen. You know what? That's exactly what happens with organ donation. If you don't talk to your family about it, it won't happen. Yeah, it's kind of creepy, maybe weird, but you get to give the biggest gift in the whole world, life. So this is what I think. Organ donation is not about dying. It's about living. Talk to your family about living. Talk to your family about donating life.
One young local actress has been lucky enough to work with some stars of the big screen on the small screen this year. Maddie Taylor is in the 7-part miniseries John Adams, based on the award-winning bestseller by David McCullough. She spent 2 months last winter filming in Virginia with Laura Linney and Paul Giamatti, among others. You might recognize 11-year-old Maddie from Pauper Players' production of The Secret Garden last fall. Even though she's had experience in both areas, Maddie doesn't have a preference between television and theater.
I am still loving doing both of them. I love television, film, and Broadway. They're all so different, but I love them all because they're so interesting.
You can watch John Adams on HBO on Sunday nights at 8 p.m., but only for the next 2 weeks because there are only 2 episodes left.
How good is healthcare in North Carolina? North Carolina performed strongly when it came to providing healthcare for different venues, but mother and child issues were not as well performed in North Carolina. And everybody knows someone who's tried to quit smoking but couldn't. New science might show the reason why. Scientists have pinpointed a genetic link common to heavy smokers. People with certain genes have a predisposition to smoking. That might explain why past efforts on campus to dissuade smokers, like this display depicting deaths from smoking, haven't been very effective. So, having this gene doesn't make it impossible to quit, just harder.
Vending machines on campus give students quick access to junk food, but reporter Sarah LaTrent tells us about a new program that will help students make healthier choices.
Here a vending machine. There a vending machine. Everywhere a vending machine. You walk past one in almost every building on campus. UNC students like Sarah Wolfley think items in vending machines aren't helping students' waistline.
I got a soda earlier today and I was looking at the bottle. It had 2.5 servings in it and there was about 130 calories per serving.
College students are notorious for their strange eating habits and busy schedules. That's why vending machines like these really appeal to those on the run.
Junior Elizabeth Ann Winters relies on healthier vending options to help her stay awake during late-night study sessions. Just for You is a new vending program that color codes items to make healthier selections easier.
I usually like to stick with the healthier options, like they have peanuts that are offered, which are, high in protein, which will keep my energy levels up.
Next time you need a steady pick-me-up, look for Just for You's check marks to guide the way. And resist the sugary temptations. Your waistline will thank you later. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sarah LaTrent, Carolina Week.
Lenore Dining Hall is also taking part in the Just for You campaign. Look for the labels to spot the healthy choices.
The long-held belief that drinking 8 glasses of water a day is good for your health has come up dry. Researchers looked into many different studies and found instead, to stay healthy, adults only need to drink as much water as they lose, about 1.5 quarts or 4 to 6 glasses. Some other common misconceptions that go along with the 8 glasses a day myth is that drinking lots of water improves your skin tone, filling up on water makes you less hungry, and that water cleans out all the toxins in your body. And drinking that 4 to 6 glasses of water won't be a drought-related problem after all those thunderstorms this weekend.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain, but we really like to see some sunshine, so can we expect some, Mallory?
I know you want to see that sunshine, Jonathan, but the clouds are holding tough. I'll tell you if we'll see those golden rays after the break.
Tick, 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 tick. Massive heat waves. Heat waves. Severe droughts. Tick, 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 tick. Devastating hurricanes. Tick, 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 tick. Our future is up to you. Tick. Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Wanted some matches and that's no good. Listen to smoke before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weather forecaster Mallory Nichols. Well, this past week, all we've been seeing is some cloudy skies with little sunshine and a lot of rain, and that's good for our drought situation, but that sunshine is going to return, and we're going to see a lot of it for the rest of the week. With the return of the sunshine, we're going to be seeing some increase in those temperatures as well, which is a lot different than what we had yesterday and today. And then later, we're going to take a look. Are we going to see a little bit of ease in our restrictions from what we received past week? We'll take a look at those lake levels in a little bit. If we head to the satellite, the U.S. satellite and radar, you can see there was that system that moved off the coast right there. You can see a few of the clouds associated with what we had yesterday, but what's keeping all these clouds over top of us right now and a chance for some sprinkles later on is this low pressure system sitting down to the south of us, southeast of us right now. That the low pressure right there is causing the circulation around it to bring in some clouds and a little bit of moisture with that for the rest of tonight, but that's going to move out for tomorrow, and then we'll see a little bit of those rays peek through. And if we take a look out to the west, you can see there are a few other systems out there as well that we'll need to keep an eye on as we head into the later part of this week, but for the most part, nothing too important for us for the week. And then if we take a closer look at the southeast radar, satellite and radar, you can see that system again a little bit closer start to push out. And then if we take an even closer look at Raleigh, you can see the cloud cover sitting over the triangle area right now is starting to push out a little bit, but we still do have a little bit for the rest of the evening. So hopefully we'll start to see that clear out and that sunshine return. Then if we head to the current surface map, you can see that low pressure system I was talking about sitting down to the south of us right there. It's bringing with it that moisture. But nothing too concerning for us. We're going to be seeing a lot of that just start to push out into the evening. And then back to the west of us, you can see we do have this pretty tough looking low pressure system sitting out there, but as we head into Tuesday's surface map, you can see that start to push out a little bit to the north of us. So not much to worry about with that system, but we do need to take a look at this low pressure system sitting out west, because as we head into Wednesday, it starts to set up pretty nicely headed in our direction, but nothing for this week. Just to worry about that maybe headed into the weekend. And then if we take a look at the 4-day forecast, you're going to see a lot different than what we have been seeing. A lot of sunshine all throughout the week, and then those temperatures starting to increase. And then if you see by Friday, those temperatures are even starting to get into the 80s. So pretty nice weather right there. And then those lows increasing as well. Then if we take a look at the lake levels, you can see all the lakes around the triangle, Carr, Jordan Falls, and Gaston, are above what they're normally supposed to be at this time of the year. So a lot different from what we have been seeing, and great news for maybe an ease on water restrictions. So
definitely. And you know, Mallory, I just noticed in the dormitories here at UNC, they've put timers in our showers. So maybe that's not a necessary precaution for us.
Well, I mean, even if we are easing on restrictions, we still do want to save water in case it happens again. So that's important. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mallory. Last week we told you about our friend Uma, and we're pleased to tell you she's found a new home. Now let's tell you about this week's featured pet. Meet Casanova, a charming young cat who's full of energy. This ladies' man loves the spotlight. But when he's not busy striking a pose, he likes to spend his time playing with toys. He came to the shelter about a month ago, and now he's looking for a warm lap to call his own. You can visit our website, carolinaweek.org, to find out how you can adopt Casanova or any of the other animals at the shelter. Well, if you're a Tar Heel or a Tar Heel fan, this weekend was not the weekend you were hoping for. Sportscaster Marissa May is here and joins us with some of the sad details.
Yes, this weekend was definitely not what we all expected in regards to both of our basketball teams. Coming up in sports, it's the end of the world as we know it. The basketball world, that is.
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, Father of Boy. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
There's a vacation village near Orlando that's unlike any other. It's called Give Kids the World. It brings a week of joy to children with life-threatening illnesses, and it's absolutely free for their families. Call Give Kids the World or log on, and please help give them a time to remember.
As painful as it is to relive, Erin Summers has the lowlights of the Heels' departure from the Final Four.
The joy of making it to the Final Four quickly faded as Tar Heel fans watched their team fall to the Kansas Jayhawks Saturday night. Both teams quickly put points on the board, exchanging baskets. A basket by Darnell Jackson, followed by a turnover by Marcus Ginyard, brought Kansas into the lead, a lead which the Jayhawks would hold for the rest of the game. The Jayhawks hit 70% of their shots in the first half, pounded the boards, and forced turnovers, like this one by Danny Green. Coach Roy Williams credited the intense play by the opponent.
Kansas had the best team. Tremendously quick.
Kansas was in the middle of a 25-6 run during a 9-minute span as Tyler Hansbrough spurred a Carolina run as the Heels outscored Kansas 15-2 to end the half 44-27. After the half, UNC looked like a new team. With a Wayne Ellington steal for 2 and 2 clutch baskets by Danny Green, the Heels were down by only 12. Ellington brought the game within 4 points after this basket, but it was the closest the Heels could get. And with a little more than 5 minutes left, Carolina went cold. Tyler Hansbrough felt the game slip away.
They came back with a run there late and kind of went in panic mode after that.
With 20 seconds left, Carolina cleared the bench, the clock expired, and the final score favored Kansas 66-84. Hansbrough and Wayne Ellington weren't pleased.
You get here to the Final Four and you feel like you've been playing good, and then we just didn't come out with the energy we needed to tonight, and we just fell short of one goal.
Roy Williams faced a dismal locker room after the game.
So I have to congratulate them on a great year. I apologize to them because some way, somehow, I didn't have our team ready to play as well as Bill did.
College basketball will have a national champion after tonight, but it won't be Carolina. In Chapel Hill, I'm Erin Summers, Carolina Week Sports.
On a happier note, other sports are definitely in full swing. The UNC baseball team faced off against the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech on Friday in the first of a 3-game series. Sophomore pitcher Alex White lasted an impressive 7 innings and allowed no earned runs. Although UNC's superb defense kept Georgia Tech from scoring, it was the Heels' offensive production that put this one out of reach. The Heels scored runs in each of the first 3 innings before blowing it open in the 6th, with RBIs from junior Garrett Gore and seniors Chad Flack and Kyle Shelton. UNC went on to win the game 8-1. Officials canceled Saturday's game because of rain, forcing a doubleheader on Sunday. In the first game, the Heels lit up the scoreboard with 12 hits. They go on to win 10-4. Adam Warren tallied 7 strikeouts and picked up his 5th win of the season. In the second game of the doubleheader, freshman pitcher Matt Harvey got the start, but he gave up 4 runs on 6 hits in less than 4 innings pitched. And the Heels' bats were silent through most of the game. No runs for the Heels until head coach Mike Fox gets in the face of home plate umpire Scott Irby. Fox gets tossed, but he actually ignites the Tar Heel bats. Kyle Seager brings home a run with a double down the right field line, but that was all Carolina was able to muster. The Heels dropped the final game of the series 4-1. They'll look to beat Elon on Tuesday in Cary. The softball team traveled north to face Boston College in a 3-game series this weekend. Saturday pitcher Lisa Norris picked up her 3rd no-hitter of the year as the team pushed past the Eagles 4-0. In the second game Saturday, the team continued to dominate on the field, winning 6-2. On Sunday, despite rain and snow, the Heels mustered up just enough warmth to sweep BC 10-1. We had the guts, we had the heart, but for the men's lacrosse team on Saturday, it just wasn't enough. Ground and pounder Shane Walterhofer commenced the epic battle between the number 6 ranked Heels and number 4 ranked Cavaliers, resulting in this shoestring blast. A minute later, the Heels got lucky as 2 back-to-back rips here just narrowly missed their mark. But as the saying goes, the 3rd time is always the charm. The Cavs triggerman number 23, Will Barrow, was just deadly for Virginia. The Heels had plenty of chances to seal the deal, but after the half, the Cavs goalie would have absolutely none of that. As the rain started to come down, it was the Cavs' tenacious play and scorching offense that proved to be the X factor in their 12-11 overtime victory against the Heels. Carolina faces off against Ohio State next Saturday in Baltimore. The women's lacrosse team seems to be getting on track. After scoring only 4 goals against Boston College, the ladies went on a tear against Ohio State. It's already 11-5 Heels in the second half when Chelsea Parks goes down hard. Watch this courageous effort. She gets back up and fires it through the net. 12-5 Tar Heels up. And this is why they call Kristen Taylor Critter. Sneaky, 19-10 Heels. Julia Ryan bounces it through here, and the Heels take the match 22-12. Taylor says she's glad to see the offensive explosion.
I think we were definitely motivated from the start of the game. We came out really strong, and it was great to see us be able to put up that many goals after only 4 goals in the BC game.
The women's lacrosse team finished the weekend on Sunday with a sweep of another American Lacrosse Conference opponent, Penn State. More offense from the Tar Heels with a 14-9 win, and the Heels are 10-3 on the season. Well, basketball season is done and over, but many spring sports are definitely on a roll and doing well. The football team is actually having their first spring game today, so we'll have more information about how the new squad is looking on Wednesday.
And we're certainly looking forward to a good football season this time around.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Marissa. Well, we mentioned that golf is suffering a stroke, but what does that mean?
Yeah, well, coming up, we'll tell you about the drought the game is experiencing.
What services come to mind when you think of the American Red Cross?
The Red Cross does blood drives, don't they?
They help out with natural disasters.
Giving blood.
Tornadoes and hurricanes.
Blood.
Natural disasters.
I'll bet you didn't know that the American Red Cross also provides emergency services for military families and delivers health and safety instruction in first aid, lifeguard training, and CPR. Contact your local Red Cross chapter to learn more about the services they provide.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Some people live to play golf, but as Monica Carper tells us, the sport is losing its broad appeal.
Golf became widely popular in the 90s, and many people predicted it would stay that way. Hoping to cash in on the new market, investors began building more courses. Between 1993 and 2003, developers built 3,000 new courses in the U.S., bringing the total number to approximately 16,000. Today, many owners are selling their properties, like this one in North Carolina. Findlay Golf Course Director Johnny Cake says he isn't surprised.
There actually has been too many golf courses built for the number of players.
The National Golf Foundation estimates about 3 million golfers have quit playing since the year 2000, and fewer than that have been picking up the sport. Cake says courses are designed in a way that makes it difficult for many people to set aside time to play. Playing 18 holes can take anywhere from 4 to 5 hours, and many people say they just don't have the time. And even if they had the time, UNC golfer Lauren Hunt says they probably don't have the money.
Golf is a really expensive sport. It kind of turns people off from the idea of getting involved.
A set of golf clubs can cost anywhere from $700 to $2,000, and that doesn't include greens fees. UNC women's golf coach Sally Austin says the fate of golf will rely on simple economics, the relationship between supply and demand.
It'll get to the point, if the demand's not strong enough, they're going to have to lower prices, and maybe that'll help get people back in.
And golfers say there are many reasons to get back into the sport.
You're doing it by yourself. It's you against the golf course.
I love to compete. I love standing on the first tee box and knowing that I have to hit a solid straight drive for the win.
You're out in wonderful environment with nature, beautiful surroundings. What could be better than that?
Those in the golf industry hope old golfers will realize what they're missing. In Chapel Hill, I'm Monica Carper, Carolina Week.
And that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thank you so much for watching. Please join us again for the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week. And again, all of our stories are on carolinaweek.org, and hope you join us and keep you up to date. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.